YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
I find him. You know, I like Chick Smooth. Chick Smooth is somebody I really enjoy listening to on YouTube because Chick just got an intellectual curiosity about things.
Hey man, what's going on out there with Dipset these days? Now that everybody has their own podcast and own platform, every other month, Jim Jones and Camron are getting into it with each other. And more times than not, it's usually about the same things. And it's always about somebody trying to change the narrative of something that happened in the past with him. Jim Jones recently did an interview with the No Rap Cap podcast. Please make sure you guys go check out their channel and go check out the interview. Now, in this interview, while he was talking about Harlem and Big L, Jim Jones went out of his way to claim that Camron was terrified of Big L's brothers. Here's what he said.
Dame impact in Harlem was nothing. Not to say it like that. Dame came up under hustlers that impact was it. He was a little dude when it came to hustling in Harlem. He wasn't not no Rich Porter, none of that type of. He wanted to hustle. He wanted to hustle for niggas like Rich Porter and shit like that. Dame from the East Side. And the East Side is different from the West Side. Now for the East Side, Dame was a big deal to us because we were little. When he was coming from the West Side, little car, jewelry, and all that. So when you're young, he's looking like Rich Porter, but in reality, you know, he was like, just go to the store, take a couple grams, get out of here.
The Rap Cap Podcast.
When you cancel out the street side of it and go into the music business of it, what was his impact with Dipset at that time?
He didn't have no impact with Dipset. Dipset, we made our impact on our own.
When y'all came over to Rockefeller, did y'all bring a certain energy that kind of ruffled the feathers of like state property and people like that?
No, when we came over to Rockefeller, it was all love. Everybody in the studios doing music, state property, Fleek and them, diplomats. Everybody was doing music there. That shit ain't started until they went through all that damn shit.
Could you else say Cam took over the rock, huh?
I mean, Mace was talented. He was a dancer. And Mace didn't excel at the rapping really to after high school, they started getting on and shit like that, and then he excelled and then started getting on first and signed first, and then now help Cam and everybody get on and shit like that. But as far as making a name for themselves in the street, nobody had no name in the street like that. You know what I mean?
Big L.
Right.
Big L had a name for himself. He was rapping early. He was signed early. He had some dangerous ass brothers. They was uptown, really shaking and moving and shit like that. You dig? And that's not my part of town. I was uptown. You dig? Yeah, Cam used to be scared to death of them niggas to the point he didn't want to come outside. I didn't understand it because I'm from downtown. You heard? We had our own set of killers.
Now, from what we publicly know, Cam was very respected out in Harlem. Obviously, him and Big L came up together. They had a group called Children of the Corn as well. Mace was in that group. McGruff was in that group as well. Now, whether or not Cam was terrified of Big L's brothers, I'm gonna leave that up to the people from Harlem to let us know in the comments. But after seeing Jim Jones trying to talk down on him in this interview, Cam said enough is enough, and he went on Instagram to shoot back at Jim Jones. Cam posted saying, "Yo, how you worried about me when your heat off and your rent due? I heard it was 7 degrees in the Bronx last night." Hey, first off, this is kind of crazy. How and why does Camron know that Jim Jones' heat was off at his podcast studio? Jim then goes in the comments to respond back to Camron. Jim tells him, "Yo, go do your shoot, punk." Cam responds back saying, "What's wrong, Capo? Your heat off too? I ain't know. It's hate for you to be 50 years old with no heat. What's your Zell, bro? I got you." He told him, "A Block know you soft." Cam responds back saying, "Yeah, but my heat on, and I'm warm. You 50 years old, tough and cold. But dead ass though, Capo, your heat off for real?" Now it continues. Jim Jones told him, "Yo, Cam, you're soft. Your whole crew's soft." And now this is where things get a little bit crazy. Jim tells him, "Yo, you want to play? Pull up. Let the people see how soft you are, chump." Cam responds back with more jokes. He says, "Jomo, you 50 and still want to pull up? I got the video of you breaking in your own studio, trying to trigger the heat system, and chasing your landlord around in his car because he want his rent." Nah, dog, in no way, bro. In no way. You are 50. Go pull up on that heat bill. Why do people know Jim Jones's business? This is now the second person that's told us the man has not paid his rent. Who keeps on leaking this information to 50 Cent and Camron? Nah, fuck that. If I'm Jim Jones, I'm daring Camron to post this. I gotta know who sent you this goddamn video of me trying to trigger my heat system and also chasing my landlord around. That is way too specific to be a lie. I'm sorry, you guys. This is evil. Jim Jones has a mole in his podcast studio, and this has to be addressed ASAP. Now, 50 also chimed in as well. He said, damn, I hope you can all chip in and get the heat back on. Then he says, damn, Jim mad. With all this pressure, I hope he's all right. Cam is laughing at him. Maybe they can start a fire and all stand around it. 50 Cent gotta be top 2 instigators in the world out there. Now, as funny as this is, and trust me, this is fucking hilarious, at a certain point, if you're Jim Jones and Camron, this is just comedy and content for you, right? We're going to see Jim go back on his podcast, Let's Rap About It. He's going to address this because this is how they've been addressing issues the last couple of months. And if you're Camron as well, this is more content for you too. Cam is going to go on Talk with Lee. He might bring up a mutual friend to confirm that he was not terrified of Big L's brothers, which for him, that's going to get him views. These guys are not going to pull up on each other and squabble. It's not going to happen. And keep in mind, Cam knows where Jim Jones records at. He knows where his studio is. So no, this is not any street beef. This is just flat out entertainment. Obviously, if you're a longtime Dipset fan, this isn't what you want to see. You don't want to see these two guys going at each other, but you just gotta accept that these two guys will never be cool with each other. So if you want to fuck with Jim Jones, you go support Jim. If you want to fuck with Cam, you go support Cam and his podcast. Or if you're neutral, you sit back and enjoy the entertainment. You guys get in the comments below. Are you guys concerned at all that people know what's going on at Jim Jones' podcast studio? It's gotta be the landlord leaking this information to everybody. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.